cartoon. Lol. Insulted a whole fan base.
Oh, yikes.
TNMP, the Nerdy Misfit Podcast, with your hosts, Connor O'Neill and Matthew Hughes.
What is up, everybody?
Hello. We're back again. Third week of January already for this episode.
Oh boy, you know what that
Boy.
means. We gotta watch 12 episodes of Poetry the Rock.
Yes, sir. That's the plan.
If you guys aren't aware, in last week's
2 weeks
episode,
ago.
2 weeks,
weeks
episode,
ago?
I don't remember.
Last week?
In a previous podcast of January,
I think it was last
I want to say
week's
last
episode.
week.
Yeah, that's right.
We decided that we will be doing a monthly anime. And this month is Poetry the Rock. So tune in for the last podcast of the month / potentially a Friday podcast, more of like a 30-minute quickie recap of the show we watched. And if we recommend it or not, basically. We won't make it
A full ep or
too
anything
long,
like that.
but basically just let you guys know if we liked it or not and what we liked or what we didn't like. And then move on to the next one.
Exactamundo.
But as of this time, it's only been a few days since our last recording, and I haven't watched any, so
Same.
I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of binge watching in some of these months.
Definitely so, that's for sure. How you doing, Connor?
I'm doing good. Ready to go. Ready to go.
Booyah. All right. Anyways, so Connor, what are we chatting about today? What are we doing? What are we talking about?
Well, we just talk.
Just talking.
We talk about stuff.
Talk about stuff. Welcome to the Nerdy Misfit Podcast, where we talk about stuff.
So actually, I'm surprised we haven't really discussed this specific topic. We'll see what chaos this ends up pinballing to. But
Yep.
as of right now, we're going to discuss genres. So, I mean, the most media that I consume is probably anime / reading manga. So
yeah.
we'll start with that just because it's something Matt and I can compare. And we'll go from there where Matt can discuss some of his book stuff. I feel like movies, let's get movies out of the way now because is there any genre you won't watch for a film?
Jump scare horror movies.
Yeah, same. Just horror films in general, not my cup of tea. I want to enjoy a film. I'd rather sing along to a Disney movie than be scared.
I think for me, I'll watch a horror movie if the story's actually good.
Which is very rare.
Yeah, like there's some good like psychological thrillers and there's some good like horror films out there.
But I would
if
say a
it's just
thriller is almost different. Yeah, some thrillers do obviously contain jump scares, but scary movies in terms of horror films, whether it's excessive gore or just only jump scares for the most part,
Yeah.
or classic cliches of like, oh, this person's going to die and you can almost predict the entire movie, but there's still those jump scares that are going to make you scared. Not a fan of that. Not my cup of tea.
yeah, that's fair.
I get, oh, but you can go, like, it's like a date movie and, like, you can be snug. No, I don't care. I just have no desire to be scared when I'm doing something that should be fun or enjoyable for myself. And being scared is not enjoyable.
Yeah, that's fair. I understand that. I
So
think
that's definitely a genre I won't watch. But for the most part, I'll pretty much watch any other type of movie.
yeah.
Like, I will say, obviously, documentaries, depending on what they're on, can be a little bit dry.
Yep.
Which I feel that's a little bit on who's making the documentary. If you're making a documentary, you probably know your audience. So if it is on the boring side, I mean, the people that are watching it probably still enjoy it. But you can make documentaries interesting is what I'm trying to say. They don't have to be boring.
I think so too, to be honest. I think it comes down to like what you like watching, and obviously we'll dissect that more throughout the episode here. But I think for me, when it comes to horror movies, like I said, like I'll watch anything, including horror movies, but as long as it's not just like to jump scare you. Like I think if there's a concrete story, like if you look at like the OG Scream movies, for example.
What about
like,
just like gore? Like hardcore
Yeah,
gore,
yeah.
like Saw or something.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch past the third Saw movie, I think it is, the story falls off. But like the first 3 Saw movies actually have a concrete story. I've seen them.
Yeah.
But like obviously they're gory, but there's an actual story behind it. I think it falls off come like movie 4, but then they tried to bring it back later on and like tie everything together and everything. Obviously, as most films do, like film series, I should say, do. But yeah, I don't know. Gore, I'm not the biggest fan of either, to be honest.
I would say also one more thing is like the parody comedies, something like the scary movies.
Yeah, like I watched them when I was younger, like high school,
and like maybe like the first one or two were, but then once like, oh, this is a thing that people just like, and then they just started like doing them, and it was like, okay, this is enough. Like, they're not that good.
No.
So stuff like that. But for the most part, I have watched them, and that's what I mean. Pretty much everything except horror, I'll be like, oh, yep, I'll give it a try.
Yeah, that's fair.
Dramas, animation, obviously, action films, like, take like some of them are a little bit like brain turn off like level in terms of like Taken series.
Yeah.
But obviously there are more in-depth action films as well that are interesting. I don't know what you would say for Indiana Jones, mystery action,
Adventure.
Yeah. But yeah, pretty much any film I'll watch for the most part. Sci-fi, obviously we've got stuff like Star Wars. But there's no real genre that I gravitate. It's more of just like, am I in the mood to watch that?
I think it goes hand in hand.
Because there's times where we've seen superhero movies and we're just like,
I gotta go to the theaters and watch it.
And that's pre-podcast even.
Yeah.
We would just go and watch it because
You had to. You didn't have to, but yeah.
but that's just what we
Have
have told ourselves we like.
Exactly.
And then we go see it.
Yep. That's how it
So
be.
I think movies is relatively easy topic so we can brush by that because I don't think it's too complex
No.
for both of us.
Just gore and
pretty much
horror.
watch whatever.
Yeah, we pretty watch the same things. Like
Whether it's bad,
or good or okay.
bad on purpose, good on purpose,
Yeah.
trying too hard to be. Actually, you know what? The trying too hard to be Oscar bait movies, I'm not the biggest fan of either.
Yeah, that's fair. Or do you expand on that?
Well, it's not really a genre.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of sometimes it's direct. Sometimes it can be specific directors who are more likely to put out a movie that seems a bit more to be enjoyed not by the casual watcher, but to be enjoyed by film watchers.
Yeah, so
not
Christopher Nolan.
not people who like to go watch movies.
Yeah, so Christopher Nolan.
Christopher Nolan definitely is a big one, but I like Christopher Nolan films. That's why it's weird.
Yeah, like it's for him.
I like pretty much all of his films. I think if we go by actor, maybe he's better. Like someone like Leonardo DiCaprio is in a lot of movies that, for some of them, are great.
Mm-hmm.
Then some of them are really boring and dry and just
Yeah.
very content heavy.
Yeah, that's
because
fair.
that's how you build the drama.
Oh, the drama.
You need the drama.
Always get the drama.
But it's also why people don't take the Academy Award seriously.
Yeah. True.
Because they know that it's just for this
Popularity contest.
this snobby elite
Top tier film people.
yeah, exactly. Film.
Sorry. The movie watchers.
Film.
The film.
But we're movie watchers. Matt may be a film goer, but he's also a movie watcher.
Exactly. And I feel like that's two distinct things, actually.
I think, yeah, and I think for the most part, whenever Matt and I go and see a movie, sometimes Matt will point out stuff that is more, hey, they did this really unique camera angle.
Yeah.
I was really impressed with that. Or, hey, did you notice that, like, for this one scene, there was no cuts? And it's like, no, I did not pick up on that at all, actually.
Yeah.
And it's cool to see that stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't, if you're going to see, like, a Marvel film, it doesn't quite ruin, I mean, for the most part, the Academy Awards does not like superhero films.
That is a proven fact.
But, it doesn't mean they're not enjoyable. I mean, this is basically the conversation of Rotten Tomatoes, audience score versus the critic score. And usually, if you're going to see a movie, which score do you look at to know which one you're going to like? Usually you're looking at the audience score to be like, yeah, I'm going to like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Very rarely do they be very the same. Anyways, moving on. So, for this adventure, we are going to be using anilist. This is a anime tracker similar to myanimelist. If you're unfamiliar with either of those, then you can check them out. But basically, it kind of already breaks down all of our anime content into genres for us, and we have both a popular in terms of account, like a popularity count of how many total for a genre you have, but we also have a mean score to see kind of how we differentiate in our scores for specific genres.
Before we continue with this, I think this would be a really cool idea to discuss this now, and then with all the anime we watched throughout the year, like check back in 2025.
We should make a new anilist. I guess actually, I think anilist has it that you can break down, but probably not specifically this, but you can look at the year's stat for yourself. So we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
If not, we can always make a spreadsheet with Excel.
Yeah.
And grab what we actually watched this year, and exactly. Plot the points.
Exactly. Anywho.
Anyway, so
genres.
without further ado, we'll go into genres.
We're just doing top 5, right? We're not doing
We can do a few if there's any like standouts, but before we go in, let's just preface by saying there's a difference between genre and demographic. I feel like in anime and manga, this is this weird gray line, because I don't see it really as an issue in any Western media.
No, not really.
It's just
a little bit, because when it comes to like books, for example, it's like just young adult novels. That'd be like the closest comparison. Which is ironic because that's kind of what they do.
Yeah. So, for example, in anime and manga, a very common phrase you might hear or term is shonen. Battle shonen, a shoujo manga.
Yeah.
And these are the demographics that story is targeting. So shonen is young boys, and then shoujo being young girls. Like, that's the target audience.
Yeah.
Adding battle shonen just means it's targeted towards young boys, and the battle genre is almost kind of like...
Yeah, like not intensive.
Just like to be more specific about it. But yeah, so in this genre list, there is no shonen. There'll be action.
Or adventure.
Very common for shonen stories.
Yeah.
But a great way to kind of differentiate you more is to say, like, you can have a sports anime that is a drama, but is a shoujo. But you can also have a sports anime that is also a romance that is also a shonen.
That tracks.
Right? It's just all how characters are designed, how characters are written.
Yeah.
Is big. That's like the impact, right? If a writer is writing a story for young boys, then it's probably going to have more appeal to them, whether that's through character designs or how characters act. Usually it's just easier for the male audience to bond with those characters or like those characters. Similar to the other side.
Yeah.
Anyways, just wanted to get that out of the way before, we say something like action is our top 2, and then there's no shonen.
Yeah.
Because technically, a lot of the anime we watch are primarily probably under that tag.
100%. Yeah. They all fall into the demographic.
We are pretty shonen scrubby, after all. But
we're the shonen scrubs.
Nothing like a good shonen, even though we'll find out soon that apparently they're not that good. All right, so going on. Should we go? Let's do. Do you have 10 genres in there? I assume.
Oh yeah. The list gives you up
so
to 7.
This list combines shows also, so it's possible for a show to be an action,
categories.
A drama, a fantasy. It could be in multiple. But obviously, it's fair to all of the anime because all the anime all have different genres, multiple genres. It's not like one is stuck in a singular genre. So I'm sure it all balances out. So I'm going to go down. I'm going to go to 10.
Okay.
I'll go through my bottom 5 first before we do our top 5, our 5 countdown. So my 10th most popular genre is psychological. Then it goes to sci-fi, slice of life, romance, supernatural.
Interesting.
So those are my 5, my 6 to 10.
6 to 10. Mine are almost similar. Number 10 is romance for me.
Okay.
Number 9, slice of life. Number 8 is mystery.
Okay, so that's the first divergence of us.
Number 7 is sci-fi.
Yeah.
And number 6 is supernatural.
So pretty similar.
Yeah.
Okay. And then our top 5. I'll start at 5th. My 5th is adventure.
Interesting. Mine is comedy.
Comedy. So adventure in this has it as stuff like Hunter x Hunter, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, Vinland Saga, Demon Slayer, One Piece. What are some more? My Hero Academia. So we're definitely getting a lot of shonen series in here.
Yeah.
Do you have any Made in Abyss? That's a little bit more what you would expect as like your more adventurous kind of story. Konosuba's in here as well. Cowboy Bebop. Yeah.
Fair.
I would say it's probably pretty accurate.
Yeah.
I feel like if the story doesn't take place in a school, it's a good chance it's probably an adventure.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Comedy for me just looks to be like a lot of My Hero, some Miss Kobayashi. There's a little bit of Steingate, some Naruto.
See, some of those are I feel like they're very lenient on what
Gurren Lagann.
on what the comedy, giving the
Yeah.
comedy genre out. Because,
Comey Can't Communicate's on here, so.
yeah, I
Or
just
with
feel like some of them
academia.
have obviously comedic elements. I feel like it's safe to say that a lot of anime have that quote-unquote gag character,
Yeah.
but it doesn't make it a comedy. But I guess
No.
if they're funny moments.
Agretsuku's on this?
Yeah, Gretzko I would definitely say is probably a comedy. It's basically cartoon, animated,
Cartoon
The Office.
yeah.
Cartoon. Lol. Insulted a whole whole fan base.
Oh, yikes. Cancelled. Anyways, moving on to 4. What's your number 4?
My number 4 is fantasy. So I feel like that's pretty obvious. Basically, we can put any isekai. Once again, isekai is not really a genre in itself. It's more of a
Story trope.
it's more of just a thing that happens in the story.
Yeah, it's just.
It's like a tag,
Yeah,
not so much a genre, although it has pretty much developed into a genre.
it's true.
But
So yours was fantasy for number 4?
yeah, but a lot of isekai fall into fantasy. A lot of anime in general falls into fantasy. I feel like there's a lot of fantasy elements to a lot of anime. Spirited Away, Attack on Titan, Promised Neverland, Fate series is in here. Pretty much any isekai I've watched. Naruto, Violet Evergarden, to name a few.
So a lot of those things that you just listed are also in my number 4 category, except it's not fantasy, it's drama.
Yeah, I feel like drama probably carries out through a lot of series as
Yeah.
well.
Big differences, the ones that aren't obviously in fantasy, is like Silent Voice, Your Name, Your Line April.
Yep, for sure.
Spirited Away, like you said. The Flower We Saw That Day, Weathering With You, Tokyo Ghoul. Yeah. So a lot of them are still drama based. But Violet Evergarden, another big one.
Which leads into my third, which is drama, so we won't touch on it too much.
Which my third is adventure.
And we've already touched on that.
Yeah, which is pretty well hand in hand with those ones. So,
So my two is comedy.
Oh, yours is a lot higher up on mine than mine.
Yeah. So let's see. What are some things that differ from Matt to mine?
For comedy?
So I've got Fruits Baskets in here.
Yep.
I've got Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. I've got Toradora, Spy Family. The whole Monogatari series is in here. A lot of the stuff you said, a lot of the shonen. We also got Kaguya-sama in here. Konosuba, Mob Psycho. Gurren Lagann, Kill la Kill. Yeah. And what's second for you?
Second for me is fantasy.
I feel like if we were to do a prediction that I would have guessed that probably your top 2 or top 3 would have been
Adventure fantasy.
I would have probably predicted something like action, fantasy, and then supernatural or something like that. Those would have been like my predictions for you.
That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's pretty straightforward for me. I don't know.
You like what you like.
Exactly. I branched out a few times, obviously. But yeah, fantasy number 2, which we've kind of talked about, very similar to everything you listed. Promised Neverland, Naruto, Demon Slayer, the Fate series, some movies like Princess Mononoke, some Seven Deadly Sins stuff, Fate Stay Night, obviously.
And then I think this one is no surprise, but the first one is action.
Action.
Which basically is any shonen, battle shonen, any seinen, and that's a lot of what we've watched, right? We're talking about Jujutsu Kaisen, One Piece, Naruto,
Bleach, Hunter
Attack
x
on
Hunter,
Titan. So
Seven Deadly Sins, Demon Slayer. Yeah, that's all in there. What's your count? Should we go count or mean score? Or no, we'll do mean score separately.
yeah. So my count is 243 for action.
101 more than me, which tracks.
But yeah, let's go to mean score. So I think this is the fascinating thing is
This will be very different for us.
so top 5 for count was for me was action, comedy, drama, fantasy, adventure. Boom, into the mean score. So this is taking an average of all of that genre that we've watched and giving a average score based on that. So number 5, which we didn't I don't even believe I said this in my top 10 for count, and that's sports.
Interesting. That's your number 5 for mean score.
That's my number 5. To be fair, I have not seen many sports shows overall. Count is at 30. But when you have stuff like Haiku, Kuroko no Basket, Blue Lock, there's some with multiple seasons carried out throughout.
Yeah.
Helps definitely pick up that score. And goes without saying, the less you've seen, but if it's good, that's just going to rise that average score up even more because you haven't seen as many.
We'll discuss that on my number 3.
Oh, okay. What's your number 5?
Drama.
I expect drama to be. I'm
Yeah.
actually surprised it's that low.
It's the 5th spot,
Yeah, but I would have thought drama would have been higher.
Really? I don't know. That's like Your Name, Silent Voice, Vinland Saga.
Yeah,
July and
exactly.
April. Those are all some heavy hitters, that's for sure. Makes you wonder what's above that then, eh?
Yeah, that for sure. But yeah, sports, that's interesting. I think a heavy impact is 1, the amount I've seen, and 2, the amount I've only really watched the good ones that people talk about.
Yeah, considering sports is number 17 on my list.
But you've never seen
I've
Haiku,
never seen
or
Haiku.
Kuroko no Basket
Yeah.
or Slam Dunk. Like you
Yeah.
haven't seen any of
big
the
ones.
iconic series.
Yeah.
What is your sports manga then? What is
It's just 2. It's just Bubble
oh,
and
yeah.
the one My Hero Academia OVA where they played baseball.
Oh, okay. Yeah, gotta have your baseball OVA.
Of course.
Number 4, I've got Supernatural.
Okay.
And that's got stuff like Clannad After Story. It does also Fruits Basket. It's got Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, Your Name, Rascal Desandria, Bunny Girl Senpai, Spirited Away, Anohana, the Fate series. And yeah, I'm not surprised to see that there. A lot of those shows I just named are probably rated high 8s into the 9s for me. So that does not surprise me that it is this high. I guess we could be saying the mean score. My sports mean score was 71. I don't know. Is yours also by percent or?
Yeah.
Okay.
My
So
mean score for drama was 74.
okay. So my mean score for sports was 71, and my mean score for Supernatural is 71.5.
Oh boy. Let's go number 4 for me. Slice of Life.
Oh, interesting because
That's unexpected for me.
that is very unexpected. If you know Matt has, I guess, let's even a year or two ago, I would say Matt was like, I don't really care for it. But I think when you said that, you were talking more specific to the following a character just doing normal everyday things.
Very, very slice of life.
as opposed to like, hey, this is technically a slice of life, but they're doing a lot of very interesting things.
So like some of the things that are on my slice of life list is like Silent Voice, Your Line April, Flower We Saw That Day, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, Your Name, Love Chimo and Other Delusions, Komi Can't Communicate, Beastars is on here as well.
I would say Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid is the closest so far to the more typical slice of life.
There's also Violet Evergarden on here.
Yeah, but that's a very dramatic.
That is
a
That
drama.
was rough to get through. Oh, Blue Period's also on here. That's pretty slice of life.
That's pretty slice of life.
Flavors of Youth. Yeah, so just some random ones. And then Gretzky.
Yeah,
That is very much
that's
slice
definitely
of life.
slice of life.
Yeah. Moving on to number 3.
3 at 73.4.
Oh, my slice of life was 76.3.
Wow, yours Big jump. What did you? No, you went from 74 to 76,
Yeah.
and I went from 71 to 71.5 to 73.5 with psychological.
Ooh, that is not in. Where is that sitting for me? Oh, number 7. Okay, it's not too bad.
I've got in psychological. Fruits Basket carries over into this. We've got The Promised Neverland, first season. Steins Gate, Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. As you can see, this is carrying over in a lot of things. We've also got series such as Attack on Titan, which makes sense. ReZero. And then the whole Monogatari series, which is also makes sense. Death Note, Tokyo Ghoul, Parasite, The Maximum. Yeah, not bad.
Ready for my number 3?
Yeah, hit me with it.
This is not. What do you think it is?
Okay, so what did you say the first two were?
Drama and slice of life.
Drama and slice of life.
This one, I'm very confused on why this is so high up.
Is this like really out there?
The count for it is 10.
Oh, so low count.
Low count. It's just, to me, it's confusing
Mecha.
because it is mecha.
No way!
It's freaking mecha.
I'm just like scrolling through mine and I'm just like, what has Matt seen but not seen a lot of?
mecha.
Mecha.
That's
So that's got like stuff like
Code Geass,
Gurren Lagann, okay. And you haven't even seen stuff like Neon Genesis Evangelion.
No. It's got Fooly Cooly. It's got Last Hope. It's got the Batman Ninja, Gargantuan the Verminous Planet, a Godzilla film. Yes.
Wow, you have so many mechas you got to watch too, because there's no Gundam.
I haven't
no
touched,
Gundams.
I haven't touched the big mech. The only
86 was a really good one that was relatively
Yeah.
recent. You haven't seen, like we said, we haven't seen Eva.
No, the only big mecha animes that I've seen is Gurren Lagann and Code Geass. That's it.
To be fair, I have my mecha. How many do you think I have for my count for mecha?
16.
16 on the dot.
Really? Let's go.
16 on the dot.
That
With a
was
mean score of 69. Nice. 0.23.
That's crazy.
That's 11th for me.
That's insane.
But yeah, I haven't seen too many mecha either.
But you've seen some of the big ones.
I've seen Eva. I haven't seen any of the Gundams. I think Gundams look cool though.
Agreed.
I think Gundams look cool, but I have it's just not my go-to genre, and unfortunately, a lot of mecha shows nowadays are CGI. I'm just not into it.
It hurts the eyes.
I do like the classic hand-drawn mechs. I
agree.
think they look cool.
Moving on to number 2. Number 2 spot for you is
Mystery.
interesting.
Because remember, this is mean score.
Yeah.
Right? So this is how highly rated stuff
Yeah.
with a mean score is.
My mystery is spot 8.
So I've got in Mystery at 73.5. I guess that's actually the same as Psychological. So to be more specific, Psychological is 73.46, and this is 73.56. And this has things such as Attack on Titan, The Promised Neverland, Made in Abyss, the Monogatari series. I feel like I've said a lot of these same series over and over. I think Made in Abyss is newer in here. It's got Demon Slayer, Neon Genesis Evangelion. Okay, Hell's Paradise. That's new.
Oh, yeah, that's a newer one.
Beastars making its way in.
Yeah. You still need to watch that, though, right?
I've seen the
First season.
Suzumi's in here as well.
Yep.
So definitely some differences, but I would say the mean score is being brought up by some of the ones I've definitely rated high, like Attack on Titan, like Rascal.
Even Hell's Paradise, I think you did pretty.
I gave it an 8, I think.
Yeah.
Monogatari series is all very high rated. I want to say the higher 8s to 9s. But yeah, Mystery only a 60 count, but the mysteries I've watched, I seem to have enjoyed at least, or I'm more likely to enjoy it if at least there's a mystery element.
Yeah.
I feel like Attack on Titan itself is not a mystery.
That's fair.
It's an action with revenge story added on into it, with mystery, with psychological.
Yeah, mystery is a very broad
supernatural.
topic,
but it has a mystery element to it. There are parts of
Yeah.
Attack on Titan that are indeed, in fact, a mystery. The basement for how long?
for 4 freaking seasons, yeah.
Right? So it would seem that if a show has a mystery element to it, I am more prone to like it. That's how I'm kind of interpreting
No, that makes
this.
sense. Yeah. My number 2.
Drama.
Nope.
No, we already said drama.
Yeah, drama. Drama was number 5 for me. Sitting at a mean score of this is my number 2 spot. Sitting at a score of 78.33.
Ooh, almost cracking the 80s.
Only 12 things on this.
Oh, wow. That's 2 more than your
Mecca.
Than your Mecca.
Yeah, what do you think it is?
Hmm.
I don't know if you can see my screen.
I'm gonna go with only 12 though, eh?
Mm.
That's tough. I'm gonna say sci-fi.
No. Thriller.
Thriller.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that is Kogias, Death Note, Steins Gate, Promise Neverland, some of the Fate stuff. Oh yeah, the trilogy, the Fate Stay Night movies. Those are thrillery. Do you remember going to the theaters and watching the second one?
Yeah, being like, what
the heck are we watching? Yeah. Oh, Erased, Future Diary, Darwin's Game.
Darwin's Game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. And my Thriller is actually rated 6th at 70.
Okay.
It also has stuff like Madoka Magica in it,
I still need to watch that one.
The Great Pretender, Talentless Nana. That was a pretty good seasonal show. I'm not going to say it was the best thing ever, but for a seasonal show, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I thought Talentless Nana. It was basically during all of the Among Us hype,
Oh, okay.
and it's basically a show where you follow the imposter.
Oh, okay.
It's a bunch of super powered kids that go to an island, and all the kids start dying, and you're following Nana, who has no talent, because in this world the powers are called talents.
Yep.
And she's talentless Nana, and she's the one killing all of them. And you just follow this kid.
That's epic.
And everyone's like, who is it? And you just follow this mystery thriller.
That's cool.
It's actually a pretty, like, it's not unreal. There, obviously the animation was decent, but it wasn't like incredible. Music wasn't mind blowing. Like, it wasn't any elements that were, wow, this is anime
the
of
best
the
thing
year.
ever, but yeah.
It was a solid seasonal show, I will say.
That's fair.
Number 1.
Number 1.
Highest count for me by far. Actually, it almost is equivalent to all of the other. Actually, almost the equivalent to the other counts together.
Oh, dang.
And that's drama.
Drama.
At 75.38%.
75 is your highest mean count, eh?
With a count of 203, though.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right? Mystery, for reference, Mystery is my number 2. 60 count, 73.5. So this has a higher mean score with an extra 140.
I'm just scrolling down. The highest count I have is Action, sitting at 142, and that's sitting at number 11.
My action is 14th, sitting at 243 count, 67.69.
I'm at a 70.56 for the mean score for Action.
So drama, obviously this includes series such as Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Yep.
Matt's mentioned Silent Voice, Your Lie in April. Once again, making its way into here is something like Attack on Titan. We got Clannad After Story, Vinland Saga, Fruits Basket, Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer, Your Name. So definitely Haiku made it in here.
Nice.
Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai, Steins Gate, Spirited Away, and once again made it into this. Some definitely repeated things, but makes sense. That's a lot of the higher rated. I feel like the shows it gives us for examples are definitely on the higher rated scale than the lower rated. So I don't really have any of the lower rated dramas as to explain why this score is as low as it is, but it is what it is. I feel like that's probably pretty accurate most of the time. If something has drama in it, it's going to get you more engaged, want to know what's happening, similar to the thriller element.
Yeah, you keep your eye. You're focusing on it.
Or similar to the mystery element. You're more engaged in the show. It's a way to bring you in. If it's a really good, well thought out drama, you care about the characters. You care about the Elric brothers.
Yeah.
You want them to figure it out. You want them to get that Philosopher's Stone. So I can't say I'm surprised. Obviously, the other thing is a lot of dramas try and pull your heartstring.
Yep.
And I'm a pretty simple person, you know. You make me feel.
I like to cry sometimes.
If you make me feel something, I'm gonna give it a higher rating, even if it is cry bait.
Yeah.
Which some of these series are. Your Lie in April, cry bait, but I loved it. Nonetheless, I loved it.
Such a great anime.
I watch it every April.
Yeah, I agree. I'm here for that.
So what's your number one, Matt?
Sitting at a mean score of 81.9%.
81, something to crack the 80s.
22 count.
22.
I feel like this isn't surprising though.
It's not surprising.
To me, it is, but it isn't. Like, it's like when you first think of it, you're like, oh, that's kind of.
So
surprising.
what were your top 4 before that?
Drama, slice of life, mecha, and thriller.
Is mystery.
No.
Really?
Mystery for me is sitting at number 8.
Hentai.
Definitely not.
I don't know. Romance?
Romance.
Yeah. Matt's a sucker for romance.
Well, it's like Your Name, Silent Voice.
Yep.
Your Line, April.
Which all I believe
Weathering
would
with
crack
You.
drama as well.
Yeah. Miss Kobayashi's. Comey Can't Communicate. B-Stars.
I feel like we also
Some of the
probably
Fate.
have just.
Oh, Sword Art Online.
That's my favorite
romance.
I feel like it's fair to say in our overview as well, though, we probably just have in general, you might have a higher average score in general.
Yeah.
I feel like that's probably fair to say.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to go to your overview, what's your mean score average?
Mean score for. If I go back to episode. No.
So you go to overview,
Yeah.
and then it's to the right. It's got a percentage sign.
Days watched, episode watched. Mean score 71.83.
So I'm at 68.21.
Yeah, that tracks.
So there is a little bit of a discrepancy in terms of just the overall mean score.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's very interesting. Romance.
Yeah, right.
But then you say you don't like slice of life, but then slice of life.
That's what I mean. Like,
but then slice of life was in your top.
But it's because of the
genre
slice of life
and
I
is your
watch.
highest rated romance.
Yeah.
And most romance,
It's slice of
a
life.
good chunk of them are
Yeah.
also slice of life.
Outside of Sword Art Online, favorite romance.
I guess you're just not watching stuff like, what is it, Horimiya?
Yeah.
Stuff that's strictly
Straight, just slice of life esque.
just straight up like, hey, I'm a kid that goes to school and I'm confessing my love to this character, and it's my
Yeah.
story of falling in love with this character or
Yeah,
trying to get this character
exactly.
love. That's not your
That's
cup
not
of tea.
my cup of tea. Do you want to jump to manga genres quick, and we'll just do like the
This
top.
one will probably be pretty quick.
just do
Both
top
of us
3 if you
definitely don't
want.
have nearly as many.
No, I feel like we're gonna have very similar answers, anyways. So
yeah, this one also doesn't have. Okay, yeah, genres. Here we go. So I'll go 5 to 1.
yeah, for genres.
So our first questionable category entry is number 5 for me, which is ecchi.
Ooh, that's high up on yours.
So we got. Well, first of all, I haven't read that many manga in general.
Ecchi is number 14 for me, and it's just one
I've got 20.
single volume. And it's the 22 to 26.
Oh yeah,
It's
that's
the only
fair.
ecchi one I have.
This one has stuff like, well, obviously this is only showing my higher rated one, but it's got stuff like Dress Up Darling, Rent a Girlfriend, Domestic Girlfriend. Never forget Domestic Girlfriend. Fantastic series. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. I've also got 22 to 6 in here. And then yeah, some just pretty cultured manga, we'll say.
Sure.
Mean score of 55 though. So I have a feeling it's not going to be in my top for mean score.
Dang. I don't know. All my top 5 just makes sense for everything I've read for manga.
It's interesting that it has chapters read as well.
Oh wow, I didn't even see
So
that.
so is your chapters read for ecchi just 1?
4 because it's
4.
4. It's 4
4.
chapters.
Mine is 1649. Anyways,
My number 5 is Adventure.
Adventure.
Yeah.
Wow, that doesn't actually crack my top 5, surprisingly.
Interesting. Yeah, because this is all like
Adventure is 8 on my list,
One Piece, Naruto, My Hero, Claymore, Pokemon,
which I've read all
My Hero. Yeah,
other than Pokemon. Maybe Pokemon's what's bringing it up.
could be. Yeah, that was a good amount. I haven't finished it, obviously.
Number 4 for me is romance. So not in the anime. Turns out Connor likes a good romance when he's reading.
That's my number 11 spot. Is romance.
It's got a mean score of 60, so already 5% higher than ecchi.
Heyo.
This also includes Rent a Girlfriend, My Dress Up Darling, but also includes series such as Bakuman, Tokyo Revengers, which I have a love-hate relationship with. It's also got Domestic Girlfriend, Big W, How I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, 17 to 21, and then a lot of care. Oh, the Quintessential Quintuple is also in here, and then a lot of carryover from the ecchi genre. Number 4, Mathieu.
For me is fantasy.
Fantasy. Feel like that's probably pretty fair.
Yeah, it's literally pretty much the exact same stuff that's in adventure.
I feel like for
My
you,
hero.
it's just gonna be carryover. That's how it's gonna
It's
gonna
literally
take whatever
yeah.
your 5, your 4, and it's just gonna slowly proceed into your number 1 that just also fits all of those categories.
That's what I mean. Yeah, the top 5 is not.
It's just
surprising
feeding
for
into
me.
it.
It is. Yeah, like Trojan X, My
Okay.
Hero.
For me,
yeah.
number 3 is when we start heading more into just similar to you, where
Okay.
it's gonna take from this point on. Everything else is probably gonna just feed into the 2 and to the 1.
Yeah.
And that's comedy
Okay.
with a big mean score increase of 9%
Oh wow.
to romance. And yeah,
We're doing count, right? We're not doing mean score.
yeah, I'm just saying in general.
Yeah, the big jump.
Give an idea.
Yeah.
So we got One Piece, Haiku's in here, Hunter x Hunter, Full Metal Alchemist, My Dress Up Darling, Chainsaw Man, a lot of shonen.
Yeah. My number 3 is Supernatural. Surprise, surprise! It's everything I've
6
listed
for me.
except Ghoul is added to this list now.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Ghouls are not
Tokyo
natural.
Ghoul and Chainsaw Man. Yeah. So that's been added to that. Moving on to number 2.
I'm gonna go with your number 2's drama.
Yeah.
So my number 2 is action, which I feel like is your number 1.
Yep.
So we have ours inversed
Okay, yeah.
because my number 1 is drama.
Yeah.
So
my
we
number
can
1 is
discuss them both.
action.
So action, I've got a 32 count on, and drama I've got a 40 count on.
Really, mine's backwards. My action is 40 and my drama is 26.
Oh, very interesting. Very interesting. Probably because my drama also includes some of those romances, some of the ecchi probably is in there as well, I'd assume.
Yeah.
But yeah, action, I feel like that's, when it comes to manga, action is definitely more of my go-to. Not that it's
Yeah.
not our go-to, because we already said in our anime that it's the go-to.
Yeah.
But for reading specifically, I feel like I'm definitely more likely to just want to read. It doesn't have to be necessarily like a battle shonen level story, but it just so happens that I really like, as we've covered, I really like those shonen,
Yeah.
those action shonen series, like Jujutsu Kaisen, like My Hero, etc., etc.
I think
And you go and watch it. You watch a season,
Yeah.
watch maybe 2 seasons,
you jump
and
to
you
the
can't
manga.
wait. You
Yeah.
can't wait. You have to read it.
Exactly.
And that, I think that's why
okay.
this happens for my
See.
action is it's a lot of series that I'm just like, nope, I want to know what's happening. It's not so much that it's what I need to read. It's just I have this compulsion to need to know what's going on.
Yeah.
And I don't want to wait for
See,
it.
my thing for action too is the fact that they split the apps up because I use the Shonen Jump app to read.
Right.
Because it used to be the Viz app, which had various genres, but now I'm stuck in the Shonen.
Hey, in the Shonen Jump app,
there is some
still,
other stuff,
there is
but
still drama, but
it is
yes,
mostly
a
action.
lot of action.
Yeah. What's your chapters read for action?
For action, 6,277.
And you have less count than me.
Yeah.
Interesting. I guess Bleach is probably in there and Berserk.
Berserk's in here.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Because my action is sitting at 40 count, but it's only 3,600 chapters. basically.
Action has Berserk in it. So basically, all of your kind of Shonen Jump titles are in here that you would expect. But it's also got a lot of the Senin titles as well, like Berserk, like Vinland Saga,
Oh,
Tokyo
okay.
Ghoul's in here, like
Yeah.
Kingdom,
Those
which
some big ones.
pretty large running series. Record of Ragnarok's in here, Claymore. Just so everyone knows, I'm not listing off like the more generic Jump titles. I'm just trying to hit some of the more unique titles. Not that Berserk is unique, but just in comparison to what were you saying. Whereas drama also includes those seinen titles like Berserk, like Vinland Saga, in combination with a lot of the Jump titles, but then additional romance. Kind of like we said, it kind of builds up everything, right?
Yeah.
Because this has got Attack on Titan, which is obviously an action, Berserk, obviously an action, Vinland Saga, an action. But then on top of that, it's got series like Haiku, which is sports, but it's in here in drama, and it's got series like Death Note, Bakuman. We've got Look Back.
Yeah.
Rent a Girlfriend makes a return in here, and so does Domestic Girlfriend, which is obviously building up from the ecchi and romance into drama. So basically just built up from all the other past genres, the lower
makes
rated
sense.
genres into this. Which is not unexpected, I think.
No, I agree.
I think drama and action, I'm not surprised, is our top two because a lot of other genres feed into that. It almost feels like we should have, like, they should almost have subgenres. And drama's like the top genre and there's subgenres into it, you know?
Yeah,
Because that's how it feels more to me,
I would agree with that.
where it's like Demon Slayer, that's an action. Okay, yeah, maybe there are comedic elements. Yes, okay, maybe there is some drama. But those are subgenres. It's not the main genre.
Yeah.
But then things get too complicated when you do that.
Yeah, because then it's like subgenre of like what classifies as
Yeah,
that
how
versus
much
that.
how many jokes do you need for it to be considered
a comedy,
top comedy?
yeah, exactly.
And let's just jump to Mean Score quick, see what we got.
Mean Score's funny for mine.
Mean Score is actually pretty interesting for me as well.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
The low numbers, I think, are helping some of these genres out a lot. I don't know about you.
So you've read a lot more. You finished a lot more mangas than I have.
I feel like if I didn't waste so much time reading One Piece, and for both of our sakes, actually, if we didn't waste so much time reading One Piece and long-running shonen, I probably could have a lot more finished normal manga.
Well, that's true. Like, what's your completed manga list?
Completed manga?
Yeah.
Well, my total manga is 69 at the moment. Nice.
Nice.
But I don't know if that means technically completed or if that's including reading.
I did separate. If you go your manga up here, and there should be on your left-hand side.
So completed's 37.
Really? That's it?
Well, because I'm reading actively like 16
That
or
is
whatever,
true,
some
yeah.
crazy amount of series.
Because my completed's 25.
You also read a lot more one-offs.
That is true.
Like just like, oh, this is just a one shot. This is a one volume thing. This is where for me, like on my current manga list for reading, I've got 31
Currently reading. Dang.
and that includes series like to be fair, that does include series like Hunter x Hunter and Berserk, which aren't coming out with chapters every week, but also includes series like One Piece, which is coming out every week, My Hero, Jujutsu Kaisen, Rent a Girlfriend. Yeah.
That's crazy. Sorry, this hasn't fully updated actually, so I have 26 completed.
Oh, you just stopped by your mal quick?
No, I just looked based on actually I will pull up the mal though. So mal might be easier to check.
But either way, I'll start at number 5 for my mean score. So I don't believe any of my top 5 for genre actually cracked cracked the top 5 for mean score.
Interesting.
At number 5,
Same actually.
we've got Adventure.
Okay.
And this is the other thing, difference between anime and manga for me is average mean score of 81.43. A lot of the manga I've read has been pretty elite, in my opinion, obviously.
Yeah.
And compared to my anime, where I've just seen some absolute garbage, but I've also seen a lot of good stuff, and it balances itself out, basically. And I haven't read enough for that to balance out yet. And
I would second that. Looking at my list as well, like there's a single manga that is holding up these 4. Like my top 4 is basically.
There's 3 or 4 manga that are holding up mine, and I'll say them right now that it's holding up a lot of the scores. Berserk, One Piece, Vinland Saga, Hunter x Hunter.
Interesting.
All in Adventure. All definitely doing a lot of work in terms of like high scores.
Dang, okay. So my number 5 is Slice of Life.
Slice of Life making number. Matt says he doesn't like Slice of Life. Matt does like Slice of Life. Tell everyone you know.
It's a 3
if
count.
He ever
though.
says I don't like Slice of Life, he's a liar. He's a liar.
Well, the Slice of Life is literally Spy Family, Look Back, and I Want to Eat Your Pancreas.
All great stories.
Oh,
though.
great. Yeah.
So wait, it's just 3.
It's just 3.
With
yeah,
a score of what?
Of 80.
Oh, okay.
My number 5 spot is 80%.
It's less
for
than
mean
me.
Score.
What a rarity.
Dang.
We're almost reversed now.
But the thing is that my top 4 is solely based on essentially one manga.
Oh, okay. I guess we'll find out. Mystery is my number 4.
Ah, interesting.
With a lower count than my Adventure, but a higher mean score by 1%. We're jumping into 82.8.
Oh.
And we've got stuff like Attack on Titan, Tokyo Ghoul, The Promised Neverland, Death Note, as you'd expect, Monster, which, to be fair, I have not actually given a rating to because I have not finished it. But it's in here as a mystery, but not technically done and not rated. So maybe Mystery has both Monster and 20th Century Boys, which both, as we discussed earlier in an earlier podcast this year, are on my to read by the end of the year list. So Mystery could be making a big jump in the mean score.
Okay. My number 4.
Drum roll.
Horror.
Oh, interesting. I'm assuming Tokyo Ghoul?
All
Chainsaw Man.
3 Tokyo Ghoul entries. Chainsaw Man, Claymore, and the other one that's holding everything up. But I'll leave that till the end.
Oh, we're leaving that till the end.
Yeah, because the number 1 spot is solely based on this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which I feel like you know what it is, but don't guess yet.
Okay. Well, you're saying it's on the other 3 as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay. My number 3 is Fantasy, with a mean score of another percent raise.
Oh, sorry. My horror was at 82.5%.
Okay. My Fantasy, 83.3.
Okay.
This, similar to the anime, includes stuff like Attack on Titan, One Piece, Promised Neverland, but we've got Berserk thrown in there. We've got Hunter x Hunter thrown in there. Full Metal Alchemist, Claymore, Record of Ragnarok,
Nice.
7 Deadly Sins.
My number 3 spot, Mystery, which has some
I already think I know
Tokyo Ghoul.
what makes your
Yeah.
what's carrying everything now.
Death Note's on here.
Does it happen to be one of the first manga you've ever read?
Yes.
Okay.
And then some other like weeklies that I was reading at the time, like Family Deadly Sins, Cypher Academy.
Wait, like 20 cards. Does it have
Katari
does
is
it
on
have
here
a
too.
season 2 you want to pretend doesn't exist?
There's a season 2.
Exactly. So Promised Neverland is carrying
Promised Neverland is
yours.
carrying
Okay.
everything for this.
Which, to be fair, the manga is great.
Phenomenal, honestly. It's my first box set I bought.
There you go.
Exactly. Moving on to your number 2 spot.
My number 2 spot is, with only a 6 count, Thriller. Thriller.
Interesting.
Also carried by The Promised Neverland.
Yeah, you can't like.
So this has got The Promised Neverland, Monster, which makes sense, Death Note, 20th Century Boys, Killing Stalking. All great series. So, like I said,
What's the percentage of that one?
85 on the dot.
Interesting. My number 2 spot, sitting on 88% with a count of 7.
88. All right.
Psychological,
Fair enough.
which has Goodbye
Promised Neverland?
Eerie, Promised Neverland, Tokyo Ghoul stuff, Trojan X, Death Note, and 22 to 26. So there's a 7 count on that.
And my number 1.
Number
What
1.
do you think my number 1 is? Action is number 6.
Adventure.
Adventure was number 5.
Oh yeah, true.
You want me to give you the 4 before? Adventure,
Yeah.
mystery, fantasy, thriller. Those are my 4 going into this.
Adventure. Okay, action. It's not gonna be slice of life. It's not gonna be romance. I don't think. What is it?
It is horror.
Horror. Wow. Promised Neverland really holding it. And Tokyo Ghoul.
Berserk, Tokyo Ghoul,
Yeah.
Promised Neverland, Chainsaw
Yeah.
Man.
What's the mean score for that?
86.67.
Oh.
But yeah, this has got basically everything you said. It has Tokyo Ghoul Re, The Promised Neverland, Chainsaw Man, Berserk, and it's also got Claymore.
You ready for my number 1? Sitting on a mean score of 100%.
100%. It's got 1 series?
It's got 2 series, but one is a completed series and one I only read 10 chapters of, so it doesn't count.
It's got The Promised Neverland
and Death Note.
and Death Note.
I didn't finish. I haven't
Mystery?
rated it. Thriller. I haven't finished Death Note, so it's not rated yet.
I see.
So, like I said, Promised Neverland is just holding this solely because I'm pretty sure I gave it 10 out of 10.
Okay.
Because I have no complaints of that series.
You didn't have a complaint about the ending?
It was expected, but
About that how about the whole that arc with Emma and Ray through
the psychological.
their acid trip?
Do you remember reading that weekly?
I do
And
remember
both of
reading-
us
and
at
being
work
like, I
being
have
like,
no
"What
idea."
the heck is going? What does this mean?"
To be fair, I also had that feeling during Tokyo Ghoul Re.
Yeah, that's fair. I didn't get to read it weekly.
Not the
but-
same because it wasn't an acid trip.
No,
but
no, that was a full
it was more just like I have no idea what's going on or who's
The
who.
lines are blending, literally.
But yeah, very interesting actually. Horror, as we just said, I do not like horror.
Yeah, ironically, we start the episode
Yes.
off with that, but we
But
ending.
to be fair, Tokyo Ghoul, although I agree, is a horror. It's not jump scare horror. It's not. It's a story that has horror elements,
Yeah.
right? You know, you got this kind of dystopian-esque future. You've got ghouls eating people. They could be amongst the people. That's kind of like the big horror element of it,
Yeah.
right?
The mysteriousness of the uncertainty.
Yeah. Obviously, Claymore's also got some pretty messed up stuff. Berserk's got very messed up stuff. Chainsaw Man is just messed up. So I'm not surprised. But also have not read as many series as I've
Yeah.
watched, so I feel like it is possible that could change in the future. I do look forward to potentially looking back at this at the beginning of next year and seeing.
I think it'd be very interesting because
taking a look back.
both of us are now basically caught up in the big ones. So
Yes.
in theory, this year we'll be able to read a lot more smaller. I have
Well,
an
you
entire
say that,
collection.
but then I've got however many of the Viz Big volumes Monster is, which is like 12.
Oh yeah, you have Monster. I have Tokyo Revengers, Full Metal Alchemist to read through this year.
We'll see. I definitely
Yeah.
feel like our manga entries will rise significantly. I mean, in terms of titles,
Yeah.
hopefully we'll see a pretty good rise. I don't expect our chapter count to be anywhere near, especially I don't expect yours to
Oh
be
gosh,
anywhere
no, I
near.
cannot beat what I did in
Yeah.
2022.
Cranking out One Piece is going to do that.
One Piece.
Unless you like
Promised
pick up
Neverland.
Kingdom and you're just like, this is one of the greatest series I've ever read. I can't put it down.
Fair.
I feel like that's the only way you could potentially
Yeah.
compete. But then you'd be wasting so much time reading Kingdom. Not that it's a waste of time because Kingdom's great, but I think we have a goal of completing, adding some series
Exactly.
to it. Do you want to throw anything quickly for book genres? I don't really have any.
I read anything. Like
I think if I was to pick, I would say for the most part for me, fantasy.
Yeah. For me, it's a little bit of everything because like I have some favorite Stephen King novels. I think Agatha Christie is a wonderful author. You know, I read a lot of young adult novels. I read a lot of Star Wars novels. I read a lot of Mitch Albom, who's a Christian fiction writer. Like
Assume we're gonna have to get you some mature
bounce
adult
around everything.
volumes of books.
maybe. Well, Claymore was getting there. But yeah. Anyways, before we wrap up, I'll do my
Matt's fact.
Matt.
Still don't have a
Fact of the
sound. We
day.
need to
We
work
still-
on that.
We still do. Maybe for the next episode
Yeah.
we'll have that. Do you want to push the button anyways that we've been
Oh yeah,
using?
what are we doing? The badumch.
Yeah, I guess so. We really need to change that.
We might have to turn into Matt's jokes.
This one is all about a guy named William Joyce, who is a big part of our childhood. Believe it or not. You may not know him, but he is known for creating some shows that we probably watched growing up. And some of you listeners, this guy has received 3 Emmys for the hit show that he wrote a book for before it became a show called Roly Poly Oly.
I've heard of Roly Poly.
Who then, after he was done Roly Poly Oly, went on to create George Shrinks.
I've heard of George Shrinks.
And then he also did conceptual character art for Disney Pixar's Toy Story and Bug's Life.
So basically, this guy's in charge of our childhood.
Just you wait. And then he was working alongside the director at the time of Ice Age to adapt one of his other books into an animated film. They decided not to, but while they were having that conversation, they come up with the idea for the movie Robots.
Okay.
That animated one with Robin Williams and everything. And then his book that he wrote in don't know when the year, in 1990, he wrote a book called A Day with Wilbur Robinson, which eventually became the movie Meet the Robertsons. And then he also has a 5-book series all about the Guardians.
Is he wealthy? Feels like he
He's
should.
gotta be. And his books basically is the I can't remember the exact book series name, even though I have it. Let's see here. Oh, the Guardians of the Childhood series.
For a second, I thought you were going to say Guardians of the Galaxy, and I was about to lose
No.
my mind.
Guardians of the Childhood series, which is the movie that came out in 2012 called Rise of the Guardians, which was like Jack Frost, Santa, Easter Bunny,
Yes.
all them. That is another thing that he did. Like that was his book series. So he literally Roly Poly Oly, George Shrinks, Rise of the Guardians. The fact that he helped out with robots, became a conceptual artist for Disney for a little bit. Like he has an insane amount of things under his belt. Those are the only things that I can think of on the top of my head. the fact that Roly Poly alone is crazy to me.
Yeah.
'Cause that's a big one for me. I don't know. Let's see. He's directed some other things and everything like that. He helped write a movie called Epic, that's another book actually he wrote as well, which is the book called The Leaf Man and the Brave Good Bugs.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen Epic? I don't know if you
Nope,
have.
I have not seen Epic.
It's got a lot of good voice actors, including Colin Farrell, Josh Hutcherson, Amanda Seyfried. Beyonce's in it, Jason Sudeikis. Pitbull's in it as well. Like, there's a lot of things. But anyways, yeah. So he's got a lot of awards underneath him. He's done a lot, which is insane. And there's your fun fact. William Joy single-handedly carried our childhood between Rise of the Guardians, Robots, George Shrinks, Roly Poly Oly.
Yeah, that's wild.
And he's 64.
Still got some in him.
He's still got... I'm curious what he's pumping out next. Let's see. Oh, his novel, Ollie's Odyssey, was adapted into a CG live-action series on Netflix.
Very nice.
Apparently, he's in pre-production right now to do an animated version of The Great Gatsby.
Oh, okay.
That's different, but okay. Yeah, anyways, there's your fun fact. That's a ramble with Matt.
There's your fun fact.
William
This has
Joyce.
been your podcast. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening to a weekly podcast. of the
Once
Dirty
again,
Misfits.
Tell us your favorite genres. Are you an anime fan? Are you a manga fan? Are you a moviegoer? Are you a film lover?
Which one are
you
you?
a book lover?
Are you a book lover?
Let us know in our Discord what genre is your favorite and if we're dumb for liking the genres we like.
Heck yeah.
That'll be in the link description.
Booyah.
Linktree. But yeah, we'll see you guys next week. We hope everyone has a great week. Have a great day or afternoon or night or morning.
Whenever you listen
whenever
to
you
us,
listen
on
to
your
the
drive,
podcast.
in your room, wherever, however. It's your boys, Matt and Connor. And we'll see you next week.
TNMP, the Nerdy Misfit Podcast. Don't forget to join the island by dropping a follow. Thank you, and see you next week.